The best of the morning to you. This is Monday with Friday, preparing you for a better week ahead. There are some things that are always meant to go together. To name a few: love and caring, responsibility and accountability, justice and righteousness. In each of these pairs, one item would be totally nullified without the other. So, love without care is hypocrisy. Responsibility without accountability often leads to fraud, and justice without righteousness becomes a draconian tyranny and oppression. There are scores of other things that come in pairs, but when some of these are delinked, like wisdom from power, or freedom of personal choice from community, then, according to William Butler Yeats, things fall apart, the center cannot hold, and mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. Recently, we've been encountering lots of people declaring their freedom and right to make their own choice, and the rest of us just have to live with that. But this matter of freedom to make one's own choices is never, perhaps in the majority of cases, an absolute, and those who think so are deluded and quite dangerous. This dangerous idea of personal choice as always absolutely and completely the domain of the individual may be intrinsic to Western societies which tend, unlike Eastern ones which are far more communal, to be ruggedly individualistic. However, the idea of absolute personal choice that has nothing to do with the rest of society during a pandemic as it relates to behavioral choices during a deadly pandemic might have been born right here in America as people who know better lie, make up stories, and feed other people conspiracy theories founded on nothing but abject nonsense and fantasy, all for cheap political gain, which always proves quite expensive in the long run. So some state governors, with their eyes on a presidential run, prefer to let their people literally die than to speak the truth. They make personal choice a golden calf before which everyone must bow and worship, killing those who don't and others who do. This is evil. Now let's be very clear. Once you live among other people in society, freedom of personal choice is limited and rarely absolute. You can choose to get a loan for a very expensive car. That's your business. But if a pandemic hits and the economy shrinks and you lose your job, a repossessor is surely on his way to your garage. Your choice reached its limits when you became accountable to somebody else. People choose all the time to drive as fast as they want, but they kill other people in the process. Derek Chauvin said he was not exercising merely choice, but his lawful right when he killed George Floyd. A jury and the whole world disagreed. Chauvin's choice did not end with him, and it did not end only with Floyd. The very first word in the American Constitution is a two-letter pronoun, we. It is not I, it is not me, it is we. Making clear that it does not pursue personal rights absolutely, totally, or exclusively, this Constitution declares in its very first sentence that the American idea and experiment is, quote, to form a more perfect union, unquote. Unity requires an understanding that some personal choices have impact on other people in the union. If not, that entity becomes hell, not a union. As well, ensconced in that first sentence of the Constitution is the potent idea of the common good. That we, the people, quote, promote the general welfare, unquote. What is very clear is that for the United States, as for any secular democracy anywhere on the face of the earth, there is one more pair of things that must go together: individual welfare and the common good. Now, don't miss this. It's not that we pursue individual rights and then the common good, or individual rights and then the common good if it is convenient to us. No, it is as we pursue the common good that we gain reasonable, wholesome, and cooperative individual rights. This is what it means to have personal choice in any nation that takes democracy and common sense seriously, especially during a pandemic. Married often to this lopsided idea of personal choice is a kind of religious triumphalism that worships the idol of self. Among such quasi-religious people, their personal beliefs, no matter how outlandish, outdated, austere, misinformed, disinformed, malinformed, or even if innocuous looking, somehow suddenly become the choices they seek to ram down everybody else's throat. It is a kind of national dissociative personality disorder where the very people who want the rest of us to live by their imposed religious and other beliefs are as self-centered as they come, wanting to do their own thing, their own personal choice, while the rest of us could go to hell. And by the way, it is not dissociative personality disorder. It is just sheer hypocrisy. In such a climate, unity fails, democracy evaporates, community disintegrates, and a virus, only too happy to mutate again and again, having found individualistic people who have no concept of the impact of their supposed personal choice on the rest of the people in their communities, shall ensure that this current pandemic takes us all the way into the next decade of the 21st century. I am Michael Friday, and I hope that we make this week get better. I'll see you again next week. Thoughtful Monday, all the way to Friday.